Alright, been out fishing for a long time today, and it has been absolutely painful. Been a painful, brutal, slow day. It's really, really cold out. So with it being as cold as it's been hard to stay on any fish at all. But with that being said, picked a spot where we saw a school of fish and just set up on them. I haven't seen anything in forever. It's been a long time since I've seen anything, but I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to record it all, and I decided to record. I decided to turn it on because just doubled up on some perch. Little school of perch just came through. Not a bad size. No, I mean, they're not tiny perch. It's not micro perch energy, but oh boy. Let these fish go. Yeah, what a day it's been. What an absolute painful day. I feel like I learned a lot of lessons today. I got one fish on the dead stick there and one on the spoon. About to get hit again. This school of fish is pretty fired up right now. I better get back down there with the spoon. Oh, yep. Fish on. Another perch. Another perch. They're munching minnows. I don't know where the school of perch came from. They are fired up. Whole bunch of fish down there. Wow. What a flurry. But yeah, my point, turning the camera on while there's actually fish here, so that helps. This year I've really wanted to focus on having better discipline in 2025. Smoked. They're all about the same size. I mean, nothing too crazy. I got another one going right now. Yep. Double up. This is crazy. Another double. Holy smokes. Just a flurry. Gotta get back down there. The school's moving away. So, I don't have any GoPro set up. It's 0 degrees out. I slept in by a lot. By like 2 hours I overslept. So in the year 2025, one of the things that I really wanted to focus on was discipline. It was actually 3 things: gratitude, patience, and discipline. I feel like out of those 3, discipline is probably the one I struggle with the most. I think I'm getting a fish here on the dead stick. Yep. Dropped it. I was not ready at all for that. I had a fish come in and hit my minnow. Then it turned around and hit my spoon with a minnow head. I need to stop fooling around here. With my focuses being on gratitude, patience, and discipline, I feel like I really let myself down in the discipline department last night. I stayed up too late, my own doings, turn on some video games, think I have enough time. I stay up too late, and inevitably I slept through my alarm. So that puts me out here 2 hours later than I wanted to be. I'm frustrated. It's hard to have patience in moments like that. They kind of all go together, and you tend to forget what you're grateful for then too. You tend to forget how nice life actually is when I'm frustrated. So I feel like those 3 words, gratitude, patience, and discipline, when they're aligned for me, I feel like what I do and how life moves and how my life operates is much more aligned. I think that's the lesson in this fishing trip. I mean, it was, well, the other lesson in this fishing trip might be that discovering a lake when it's 0 degrees out might not be necessarily the play. I had so many issues. Transducer's not working because it was too cold. Drill's not working because it's too cold. Not knowing the lake. So I'm wanting to drill a lot of holes. and it's just not feasible when it's this cold out when I'm walking around. If I'm able to drive on the ice, it's a different story. If I had a UTV or snowmobile, ATV, I think it's a different story as well. You see some guys that have some really tricked out kits that they're able to check anything out and buzz around, but that's just not in the cards for me, so I don't have anything like that. And I think that was a lesson learned today. Like, if I were to go out, I mean, it's turned out okay for as rough of a start as it was. Having these perch show up and catching these things in a flurry is kind of a reminder of it ain't so bad after all. I was watching NFL Red Zone, and all of a sudden it was on. I had to turn off the red zone and turn the camera on. So, but when we first got to this spot, there were a ton of fish all over the place. If it wasn't as cold as it was, we would have been able to stay on the fish, or at least chase them down. But with it being as cold as it was, there was no operating unless I had the shack going. It's just so cold out, especially with the mood I was in, my lack of discipline impacting my lack of patience, impacting my lack of gratitude, all that, one big domino effect. Fishing outside in 0 degrees was not in the cards. But setting up in an area that had fish, I have 3 holes drilled in here, and I've drilled 4 holes today. So by the time we got set up, school of fish were gone. I assume it was a school of crappie, or maybe mixed in with bluegills or something like that. They seem to be a bit skittish since there's no snow cover right now. We've got about 8 inches of ice, 10 inches of ice, but no snow at all, so they can hear absolutely everything. I popped a hole, dropped the live scope down, they were there, so I set the shack up. Before I even drilled the second hole, they were already gone. By that point, I was ready to either leave or just set up and wait. So I chose to set up and wait. I got the heater going and set up shop. It's kind of what time of year it is. Sometimes you have to just slow down. I feel like I get going too much in life. I have too much going on and I don't ever take time to slow down. So, well, it looks like the school has moved on a little bit. Well, I am going to turn football back on, and I will flip the camera back over and on if some more fish come through. I was going to head out, but after that flurry, I mean, it's 1 o'clock. That gives me hope that this is a good spot, like that there's fish will come through here. And the fact that we saw a school of what I believe was panfish earlier might stick it out here for another half hour. It's 1 o'clock now. Stick it out for another half hour, 45 minutes. If nothing comes through, then I'm gonna pack it up. Fish is about to hit the dead stick. Fish on. On. Perch. Well, it's been 20 minutes and a fish took the dead stick. Not gonna lie, I mean, it's getting hard to want to leave. I'm cozy, I'm watching football. I think that was the only one I saw down there, but never know. Oh. I don't know if it's still on. I don't believe so. Dang it. It's hard to want to leave because does this mean that walleye might also be kind of in this area at the right time? It's kind of what my thought process is. Said it's 1:30 now. I just cranked the heat up because I wanted my hat and gloves to finish drying out. Now it's hot in here, but no complaining. It's cold out there. So another thing that I'm working on in 2025 is journaling more. I want to hold myself accountable. I feel like with nights like last night where I stay up too late and then how it just carries over and snowballs into today, and how there's probably a previous time in my life that I would let that continue to snowball so much so that it would roll into my week and Monday and Tuesday. And I feel like writing stuff down and holding myself accountable for this kind of stuff helps me just keep tabs on myself. It helps me learn about my tendencies and my behaviors so I can change them, because how it impacted my day today, it didn't feel worth it. It didn't feel worth the sleeping in for an extra 2 hours when I could have just went to bed 2 hours earlier. So journaling, writing down those 3 focus words for this year: gratitude, patience, discipline. Although it might not seem like that big of a deal because it's just fishing, it's just a fishing trip. It's okay to oversleep. It happens. To me, it happens too often for myself, and that's something that I want to change. I was coming out fishing with a friend. Not that he was relying on me to be here, but I said I was going to be out here at a certain time, and I'm 2 hours late behind that. So journaling in 2025 is what I'm going to focus on. Something I noticed when I was dropping my dead stick down, the water clarity seems to be very, very clear. I was able to see my minnow falling still while it was a good 10-12 feet down. Time check. It is 1:39 p.m. I said I was going to give it a half hour. 20 minutes after I said that, I caught a fish. I was kind of thinking at about 1:30, the half hour timer started again for me. So I'm going to give it another 20 minutes. And I'm going to finish up writing in here. And probably going to watch some more football for the next 20 minutes. So I will turn the camera back on if we get some more action. All right, just did a little scan around us, and for the first time in hours, got a little school of fish out there, 60-70 feet. So I saw that school. I'm legitimately sweating in here. Good problem to have. I saw the school. I went over and I drilled a couple of holes by them, stomped around. They moved a little bit farther away, but they kind of came back. I think I'm just gonna sit here and wait. It's 2:13. I'm just gonna watch some more football and wait it out for another half hour. I'm curious to see if any of those fish push shallower, because they're over in 25 feet of water. I'm set up in 21. Behind me is like 18. I don't know if fish are gonna move up this way. There's like a flat that's up behind me, so it's hard to leave. I'm here, I'm warm, I have no responsibilities for the day, so why wouldn't I stay? I'm not sure. I've got football, got a book, got a journal, got time. Okay, it is decision making time. It's 2:46. These fish have slowly started creeping their way up. It's too slow for my liking. I'm gonna pack up the shack and I'm gonna go to where I think these fish should be, and I'm going to punch a hole there and fish raw dog and go shackless for as long as I can take it, and then I will be calling it quits. So we'll see. I'm just gonna try and catch a couple of fish out of this pod to see what they are and how big they are, and then I will be hitting the road. For what it's worth, that was not a leaf blower. Somebody is still using a gas auger out here, so hey, gets the holes cut, gets the job done, so be it. But I didn't realize how much you'd be able to hear that, so my apologies. Let's go catch a fish. All right, we are packed up and I am done for the day. I got out of the shack. I went over and found those fish that were schooled up like I was planning on doing, and I was actually able to catch them and get on them pretty good. It was a bunch of perch, a bunch of more perch. I don't think all of the schools we saw today were all perch, but I mean, I measured some of those perch, and they ranged from 7 to 9 inches. So yeah, it was a lesson-filled day. It wasn't a complete waste. Setting up, slowing down, and letting the fish come to me, it kind of paid off. So again, it's that time of year. That's what winter does to you, is it makes you slow down a little bit. So I'm happy I made it out here. I'm excited to get back out here again on a day that I can be a little bit more mobile, because this lake is very intriguing to me. There's a lot of good numbers and good information out there about the lake that has me intrigued, and it's only about a half hour from my place, so it's not too bad. I'm gonna hit the road here as the sun sets on another fishing trip. Gratitude, patience, discipline, that's all I need to remember. See ya!